Welcome to the Young Granny Show. I'm your host, Brittany. We're skipping the midlife crisis and diving straight into the cozy world of all things young granny. I will highlight artists and creators who share their passion for slow living, creativity, and the art of a handmade life. So grab your yarn, a cup of tea, and let's get started. Welcome, Nicole, to the Young Granny Show. I'm so excited to have you today.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So you are Miss Nicole from Cozy Crawley Corner.
Yes, that's me.
Now it's a tongue twister. I was just asking Nicole to make sure that's her handle, and now it's a tongue twister. Tell us what you have in your comfort cup today.
Oh, I actually have some sweet tea. I
Oh,
was wanting iced tea, and I was like, I think it needs to be sweetened a little.
yeah. What'd you sweeten it with?
Just some brown sugar. I
Ooh,
don't know. I like brown sugar, and it's summer, so I thought iced tea.
yeah. Okay. Brown sugar. I recently learned how brown sugar is made, and
Oh,
you
I
can
have
make
no
it at
idea how it's
home.
made.
It's molasses. It's regular sugar and a little bit of molasses.
Wait, so
That's it.
it's like gingerbread? So
Yeah,
it's like
kind
having
of.
gingerbread?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But that's it. That's all brown sugar
Oh,
is sugar with molasses.
that's so
You can make
fascinating.
your own and keep it
Yeah,
soft all the time.
you totally should.
And you can make like if you want it light or dark, you just add more or less molasses.
Uh,
I learned that. Saw a reel, of course.
yeah, that's so interesting. What are the
Yeah,
odds of the timing too?
I know. How funny.
What
But
do you
that
have?
sounds delicious. I don't think I've ever had brown sugar in iced tea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try that.
you should make it and then try it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. New reel coming up.
Yeah. What's in your comfort cup?
Let's see. Today, oh, I've got something in it. I'm using my mug that I bought from Katie Rose Handmade. She was on one of our earlier
Oh, so
episodes, but
funny.
I picked this because your favorite color is orange, and
Ah,
this
it is.
daffodil is orange.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing my orange. It's like the closest thing to orange that I have. I have like a I don't know, what do you call this? It's like
So
orange
cool.
peachy
Yeah.
coral, like neon coral. I don't know.
Yeah, I approve.
I'm wearing my
Yes.
dress.
Yes, I
But
will
in
say
my cup
congratulations.
is bone broth.
Oh
It's my
yeah.
go-to. Is bone broth.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
love bone broth. Yep.
I do.
Mhm.
I do. Although not all bone broths are equal. So
Oh,
some of them I like to cook with, some of them I like to drink.
okay. That's fair.
So, yeah, there's for me. I'm picky, and there's a difference.
That's fair.
All right, Nicole. So you have a background in mental health, and you at the moment your big granny hobby is crochet, and you have come up with some really unique ways to combine both of your passions. So let's start with your education background. Tell us a little bit about your mental health education background, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about crochet.
Yeah, so my education's a little interesting. I did go down two separate paths, but they're both still mental health related. So basically, I graduated from undergrad and then decided I wanted to be a child counselor. So I went to school for clinical mental health counseling with an emphasis in children and adolescents. So it's a really long title, but I knew I wanted to focus on children,
Mm-hmm.
so I made sure to emphasize that in my degree. So with that, I also really, really have a passion for healthcare, actually, like children in healthcare. And I wanted to be a child life specialist. If you don't know what that is, child life specialists, they help children during medical procedures or educating prior or helping parents to a level that they'll understand. So I
Mm-hmm.
discovered that I wanted to do both, just in case one didn't work out because it is a competitive field. So it's interesting because I graduated with my master's in counseling for children, did my internship for all that, but I also was doing the education I needed for child life. So I've done a ton of like experience volunteer hours, practicum, all that stuff in child life, which I did even in South Africa for a month, and then I did a bunch just in Phoenix where I was living at the time, Phoenix, Arizona. So I just have like this huge umbrella of like children and mental health, but also like a little mini umbrella of healthcare as well.
Yeah.
So whenever people ask me like what is your passion like, and I say children and mental health is really just what it is. And now that
Hmm.
I'm, crocheting, it's that too, but I was
Yeah.
able to intertwine that. So that's my education. It's kind of complicated. So whenever people ask me, I just say uh, child counseling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all, there's so many little niches to go down in mental health and then with children, and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were in Phoenix when you went to school. Where did you go to school?
I went to Grand Canyon University.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I've got some friends that
Hmm.
went there for counseling related
Oh, really?
degrees. I went to ASU, so we probably
Yeah,
were in some of
nearby.
the same areas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Grand Canyon's a little north. Huh.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
it's like 20 minutes. It's right there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
Yeah.
ended up going there for both degrees because as an alumna,
Yeah.
um, you got a discount, so I thought, okay, I'll save money and
Yeah.
just go to grad school there too.
Yeah. Save all
Yeah,
the money you can, especially with
exactly.
those degrees. Yeah. So when did you get when were you introduced to crochet?
During grad school,
Okay.
I think it was right before I had to do my internship. So when you're in school for counseling, you have to do like field hours, which is your internship. So that's what I was doing, like as I learned how to crochet. I think I might be wrong, but that's around the time. It's only been 3 or 4 years since I
Yeah.
started. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. What made you pick up a hook and yarn?
Okay, this is gonna sound really, really funny, but I just kept seeing these videos of this girl making fruits out of yarn, and I
Yeah.
love fruits, and I thought I
Yeah.
really want to make like an orange pillow or something, and I've always wanted to learn how to crochet anyway, so I thought, okay, I'll start on YouTube, and then it just went from there. And I
Yeah.
tried knitting, I couldn't. I actually had to throw my needles across the room. It was like so frustrating for me. So I was really nervous to try crochet because I just
Yeah.
couldn't, like, my brain just couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
but that's how I started crocheting.
How
It sounds
funny.
really funny, but
I
that's how.
don't think so. We all have, especially the people that have picked up crochet or even, I mean, even like embroidery or knitting, like within the last couple years. It's because we saw, most of us, it's because we saw a video and we were like, that's super cute. And somebody made that. And then you
Exactly.
see it again and you're like, maybe I could make that
I can
someday.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then your algorithm picks that up and then you see more and you're like, maybe I could make that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now with
Yep.
technology, it's like you kind of don't have an excuse. Like just do it,
I
you
know.
know?
I know.
Yeah.
So many of us are YouTube educated on
Yeah.
on all
I
this
wish
stuff.
I
I
was one of
am, you
those
are. Yeah.
that's like I've been doing it since I was 5. I wish that was
Yeah.
me with every other craft, but no.
Yeah. They're
And
like, my
you
grandma taught me and then my mom, helped me and
exactly.
yeah. Nope. Not here.
And that's
Um,
okay.
I saw somebody I was following, either I was chatting with or follow, I don't remember. She was saying that for like 15 years, because her grandma taught her how to crochet, and all she knew was slip stitch and single crochet. And
Oh.
she didn't know that there was any other stitches
Oh my
for like
gosh.
15 years. So all she made
No.
were, long scarves and blankets and stuff. And it was like a year ago that she found the Mama Made Minis stuff
Oh my
and was like,
gosh.
what?
A whole new world.
A
Yes.
whole new world.
Yeah. No, really,
Yeah.
that's what my mother-in-law keeps telling me. Like crochet is just not what it used to be. Like I feel like it was just the same blankets over and over again. Now you see all
Yeah.
these kinds of things like amigurumi. She
Yeah.
doesn't know what that is, but like
Yeah.
when she says plushies, I'm like, yeah, that's like a whole thing now. It's so popular.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah. You know what blows my mind is seeing people knit stuffies, like teddy
Oh,
bears and stuff.
I
That
didn't think
blows
you could.
how in the world. I've seen some well, I think all I've seen are teddy bears and maybe some bunnies with the ears,
Hmm.
but they're knitted and it blows my mind.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, anything that's knit is going to be impressive for me because
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know the difference between crochet and knitting, and they both use yarn.
Mhm.
Um, crochet uses a single hook.
Yes.
Knitting uses two needles, long, like chunky needles. Not I'm gonna poke you needles, but like
Right,
two
right.
needles. So that's the big difference. Is one hook is crochet, two needles is knitting. So, um, just in
It's a
case
common
people are like,
misconception.
it
But
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
and
is fair.
most people just put it under the both under the umbrella of knitting,
Yeah.
which is it's fine. It's fine. I get a little annoyed by it, but also everybody's meaning well, so I put myself in check.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's handmade. Yeah.
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 All right. So recently, kind of recently, it's
hmm
probably been ruminating in your mind for a little while. You have combined your background of mental health for children and which is easily applicable for adults
Yeah.
and crochet.
I have.
So you've been designing patterns
hmm
that are so unique.
Oh, thank
They're
you.
so unique and they're so cool to help kids and adults alike
hmm
through tough moments. So how did this come about for you?
Okay, when I was working as a child and family therapist, we used this mindfulness technique a lot. Like in my sessions, I think I used it probably 10 times a day. And it's the 5 4 3 2 1 method where you use the five senses and incorporate those into grounding yourself in the moment. So like, oh, what are five things you see? And that's the first one. But anyways, I when I thought about that grounding technique, I kept thinking I really want to make a cloud. I feel like I can make a cloud and I can incorporate that somehow because I feel like mindfulness is very calming and I just kept thinking of a cloud and I was telling one of my crochet friends like I'm going to make a cloud. Like once I learn how to really pattern design and get it down, like that's going to be my first like I feel like my niche thing, you know, like I just want to make the cloud and I'm gonna call it cope. And I had this whole like, oh, it's this whole vision, and I was really excited, and I did end up doing that. So that was my first like mental health crochet pattern, and I'm still so proud of him. I have him right here. I'm like, he has to watch. Just kidding, but
Yeah.
um, but yeah. So I started with that, and I guess I didn't expect it to go as well as it did. Just the feedback and all of the really amazing messages I was receiving. Just oh my gosh, I didn't know that this existed, and I really want to use it, and just all the like comments and messages from people of how they struggle or how their children struggle, and I started to realize I could really keep going. I could keep doing this. Um, so I've kind of gone from there and made a few more. I think I've made like 5 or 6 crochet patterns that are mental health based. But cope is still like my number one pattern for sure, I think, and then the blanket that I just released too. But
Hmm.
that's where it all came from. It all came from cope, and then from there, kind of things just kind of went off, and I just found my niche. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stick with this. This is so fun, and it doesn't feel like work. It feels like just my heart and community being poured into pattern designing, and I never thought that that could be a thing. So it's just been such a blessing, and I'm having so much fun at the same time. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've made cope. Um,
Yeah.
Cope cloud and it is it's the coolest thing. So cope in some really unique ways incorporates you well, it has you walk through. the 5 4 3 2 1 with the plushie, and there's a pocket on the back to hold the instructions if you want them, or something else like a scent packet, or
Yeah.
different things. Um, and people love it, especially, I've sent it to some friends, and like it was for my friend, but their kids also use it.
Oh,
And
so sweet. Yeah.
um, I used to be a teacher, an elementary school teacher, and that is something I for sure would have had in my classroom. So I plan on, I have a couple of friends that are teachers, so I plan on making them a couple copes, especially like you made a mini one too, a
Yeah,
mini
yeah.
cope pattern. So I plan on making a couple of those for them to have in their classrooms because it's really powerful, and a lot of people don't know that technique, and it's so helpful. Whether you're having like really big emotions, like a panic attack, or
Mm,
just like a hard moment,
for sure.
um, and all the spectrum in between, it's really helpful. Let's see, what came next for you? I know we've chatted in the past. You have so many ideas, and they all came kind of at once, and so it's just been trickling out the
Yeah.
ideas. So what? So you made Cope Cloud.
I made
What
Coke,
came
and
next?
then I think what was next was the Rainbow Mini May. So my
Right.
friend Leah, she's Leah May Makes, yeah. She has this big rainbow pillow called Riley May crochet pattern, and she tested Cope for me, just like you did, right?
Yeah.
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 And she reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've been wanting to make a mini rainbow of like the same design for the rainbow she had, but a mini version." And she thought it'd be really cool if we could collaborate and I could incorporate some sort of mental health coping skill in there. So I think that was the next one, and that one worked out really well because rainbow breathing was what I added into that one. And rainbow
Mm,
breathing is a pretty common anxiety like technique to use. So it was perfect. Like that one I feel like people have heard of before, they just don't know what it is exactly. And then seeing a cute little rainbow with as
yeah.
well was it was just picture perfect. I'm like, "Oh, that
Yeah.
is perfect. A rainbow? Oh, I got
Yeah.
this." So I
So
think that was the
what
next
is rainbow breathing?
Rainbow breathing is it's like faster than the 5 4 3 2 1 method, but you it's based on counting. So I made it a little bit different, but there's like different versions where you can you focus on one color and you count to 5, and then by the time you finish the other side of the rainbow, you breathe out. So there's
Okay.
different ways to do it, but you can either focus on the colors or like the full curve of the rainbow, but you
Yeah.
breathe in, breathe out, and then you count depending on like the age or difficulty that you want to make
Sure.
it. But it's pretty
Oh, how
simple.
cool.
And
Yeah.
really fun, yeah. And then you can
Yeah.
also incorporate like, oh, if I'm feeling blue, like what does blue mean to me? And then you think about that by the time you've finished the arch that you're on or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool. That would be really cool for teaching kids about feelings, identifying feelings and talking about it.
for sure.
Um,
Anything that has
especially,
colors
yeah.
is like, oh, feelings. Okay, let's talk about
Yeah.
feelings
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've made did the peg dolls come next? The feeling, what is it? Feeling
Yes.
friends?
Yeah, Feeling Friends I made,
Yeah.
which was my kind of idea behind that was for role play and pretend play because I did a lot of that in my sessions, and I thought
Yeah.
this could really help, especially children that are nonverbal. That was a huge factor that I had in mind. So it's 5 peg dolls that are supposed to be the 5 different color feelings that I chose, and then they come with little like stands that have little cards that you could print out that are like, oh, if I'm anxious, I can do this, and voila, so on and so
Yeah.
on. So that was my next one, and then
Yeah.
mini cope.
Yeah. A mini cope. Yep. Yeah. Um, so, see what I'm talking about? So creative and so helpful in many different modalities, right? You've got um, breathing techniques and sensory techniques for grounding with cope. You've got breathing with the May,
Yeah,
with the rainbow, and um, and then the peg dolls,
Yeah.
which, there's a nice flow there. And then what came next? Was it the blanket, or kind of at the same time were you working on your hot air balloon?
Yeah, the blanket just came out last week. My hot air balloon, it comes out in a few days.
Okay.
So I was in the middle of writing my blanket pattern, and okay, confession, blankets really bore me. Um, but I really wanted to make a blanket pattern. I knew it was going to be really helpful, and it kept getting requested to make one. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. But it just, finishing it took me forever because I just got so bored. So in the middle of writing my blanket pattern, I wrote this hot air balloon, and I was like, oh my gosh, feelings forecast. I'm going to do that. And then I have it right behind me, but my idea is to kind of have it in, it's a calming corner type thing, and in the basket there's going to be stress balls that you can think about if you need to go to the calming corner and calm down for a bit. So that was my hot air balloon idea, but I did release my pattern before I've even released the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
For the blanket, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the blanket, I think, is going to be a, a really, really important tool for mostly for adults to go through hard moments with, um, or exciting times that they want to keep
Yeah,
busy
document. Yeah.
with. Yeah, things to thank you. That's what I was looking for. Things to use it as a documentation tool, um, or just a way to move through feelings. So tell us about what I'm gonna let you say the name of this blanket because I love it, and then
Yeah.
tell us about it.
So the blanket's called Not Today Anxiety. You have to say it like that.
Yes. Every time in my head, that's how I say
Yeah, and
it.
it's not like Knot, so it's like supposed to be a fun little pun about
Yep.
crocheting. But unlike my other patterns, the other patterns were more focused on if you make this item, how can you use it like as just a customer or anyone to just has the actual finished item. This one focuses on the maker. So it's supposed to help a maker process through anxiety or really any emotions. But I have this whole page that describes kind of my like idea behind it. But I was really excited to make it because I discovered the cross double crochet stitch. And if you don't know what that is, it's the double crochet, but basically you skip a stitch, double crochet in there, and then go back to that skip stitch and double crochet. And when I saw that stitch, I can't remember if I saw a video or something, I thought, oh, I need to make this into a blanket because it's going to help stitch and sit through anxiety. And the reason behind that was it uses your left and right hemispheres of your brain. So when you're using both sides, you're at full range of your cognitive abilities. And so I thought, okay, if I do that, that's actually going to help makers while they're making it. So not just like writing down what they're feeling, but actually processing. And even though you're always processing just through anything repetitive, like crocheting, because you're using your hands in a repetitive motion, I thought this was really going to emphasize that. So I really go about it in detail in my pattern, and just this was my heart behind it, and it's supposed to really help both parts of your brain. And then by doing that, it's supposed to reduce your anxiety and depression and help. And it's just fun. Like, it's a different stitch that I feel like I haven't seen too often.
Mm-mm.
So I really
Yeah.
enjoyed making it, especially because even if you don't like making blankets as much like I do, I was like, this is it's more engaging, I feel like, than others that I've seen, but also not too difficult, at least I don't think. And
No.
blankets are so fascinating. It's just me. Don't
Yeah.
anyone that loves blankets listening, like, it's okay. I'm just weird, but
No, you're not. I think people go in and out of blankets. I think that's my opinion. Is
yeah,
yeah. For a
yeah,
while
to
you
each their
don't
own.
like them, and then you love them, and then you're like, all right, I'm
Exactly.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end, well, okay, sorry. At the beginning of the pattern, I have that explanation, but then I also go through like, what are you going to use this for? Like, are you going to sit down and then think about what you're feeling right now? Or are you going to like reflect on your day and then use that emotion in the moment? And the reason I say that is because then you're supposed to choose 5 different colors, and based on the colors, go to your chart. So there's a mood chart that's you either choose anxiety, basic emotions, or like a DIY one. So from there, you've picked 5 colors that you're feeling, and you go from there. So like, okay, blue can be sad, then you go through that row of sadness and then change the color if you want, or so on and so forth. So yeah, it's like a lot, but also like really simple at the same time. It's really
Yeah.
just crocheting and changing colors. If you're someone that sounds really complicated, like no, it's really you just change your colors, do whatever you want to do. The whole point of it is it's supposed to help reduce your anxiety. So don't get stressed. It's okay. You do you. Like
Yeah.
yeah, but it
Yeah.
was so
And
fun to make.
I've loved seeing the blankets that people have made because they're so wildly different. You can pick whatever colors you want and assign them to whatever feelings you want. And then, for whatever you're working through or documenting, every blanket is going to look so different. And it's so cool. It's so cool to see. So, um, people, when they're making the blanket, do they do kind of like one row for each feeling? Like how is it intended to work through?
Yeah, so at the end of each row, if you want to change up your feeling, that's when you change colors. And then you go from there. Some people changed colors mid row because
Hmm.
that's so valid. I mean, the row is 100 and so stitches, so you could be feeling a completely different feeling by the time you get to stitch 60.
Yeah.
So some people did do mid row. I didn't, but that's just because I wanted it to look the way I intended and just thought if you want to go your creative way, then go ahead. But that's the idea is you change at the end of the row and
Yeah.
then go from there.
Very cool. I think it's going to be super powerful. I messaged you. I have a plan for when I make mine, which when you see me making it, you'll light bulb moment will go off. But what are when you had your tester group making the blanket, what are some things that came up that was meaningful to you?
I remember one of my testers said that like her family would all come and look through her chart and go like, "Oh, let's see what mom was feeling today." And I thought
Oh,
that was so cute. I'm like,
yeah.
and I think that's so important. And I don't think I talked about this with her, but it's so important for your kids to see that you go through hard emotions too. So I remember seeing that message from her and thinking, that's really good. And it's not a common thing. I feel like a lot of parents do is like talk about how your day might have been hard because
Hmm.
as parents we're always trying to be the brave and strong one, and that's totally valid, but it's also really important to show the transparency of your emotions. So I remember her saying that made me go, that is really powerful, and that's going to go a long way for her kids. And
Yeah.
then just a lot of makers were just like, oh man, I didn't realize how much I needed this today. And it was a lot of their like end of day projects. Okay, this was a really hard day, let me reflect on it and go through that. And then some of
Yeah.
them ended up journaling throughout it and just really wanted to reflect on each time they sat down and stitched through
Mm.
it. And it was just all kinds of things. It was really fun to watch and go
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
That's really cool. And I'm sure you're going to hear lots of stories through
Oh,
this, which
that'd be so cool.
I hope makes you feel really good because it's really unique. The stitch is really unique. It's simple. So if you are a beginner in crochet,
Yeah.
um, once you get used to the terminology, one of your first stitches will be a double crochet. Um, and that's really all it is. It's just moving from stitch to stitch in a non-linear fashion
Exactly.
versus like next one at a time. So,
And I did end up linking a video just in case someone was like, that sounds really crazy. Across what? So,
yeah, I did. I was scrolling my YouTube last night and that came up that popped up. So I watched it. I was like, she's got a new video. So I watched it and I had never heard of it.
Oh, see, so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it's super cool, and the video is well done. Um, so I appreciated it, and it looks really cool when it's all put together. It looks really unique. I haven't seen anything like it, but so
Thank
it's
you.
very, very cool. So there's the not today anxiety blanket. Have to say it like that. What what's about to release? You've got your hot air balloon.
Yes, that's
Tell us
about to
all
release
about this.
in like 3 days.
Yeah,
Something like that. No,
yeah.
Tuesday. It's like 6 days from now.
Oh,
But
oh my gosh. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I'm excited about that one, and I think that one also can be used like in nurseries too. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people have been telling me that, so that's fun. Like
Yeah.
do whatever you want with it, you know.
Yeah.
I've been having fun embroidering some things on hot air balloons.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
How did you come up with the idea of a hot air balloon and feelings?
I think after doing, the rainbow and the cloud, I
Oh.
realized, okay, obviously weather and emotions have this correlation, and I guess that's my thing now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what else could I do? Like, what could hold a stress ball that's feeling based? And I just kept thinking, I want to make stress balls, but I want it to be a little different. I don't know. And then my husband actually was like, hot air balloon, like you could in the basket. I'm like, I literally like threw whatever I was making and I started
Yeah.
making it right away, and it was one of those like aha moments. And within a day, I had already finished the pattern, and it was crazy. So that
Yeah.
was fun, and I have a lot of close friends that have really like unique stories with hot air balloons. Like one of my best friends got engaged in front of a hot air balloon, and my
Oh.
other best friend, like her and her husband go to the Albuquerque, New Mexico
Yeah.
hot air balloon festival every year, which we've gone once with them. So I just was like, oh, they're gonna love it, and they don't crochet, but still
Yeah.
they appreciate it. Of course, they're sending me all the pictures that we have. They're like, you gotta make hot air balloons like from pictures, and I'm like, yes, of course. So, oh, it's fun, yeah.
Yeah. So the little stress balls go in the basket.
Yes, yeah.
So walk us through how do you envision this working? What are the stress balls? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I have 4 stress balls so far. I don't know if I'll make more. But it's a little like fire ball, which is fun because if it's in the basket, then it needs the hot air balloon needs fire to go
Yeah.
off. But so fire, and then I have a little cloud. So this is like my third cloud at this point, but it's really really tiny, so it's fun. And then a leaf and a raindrop. So I was
Oh.
trying to use 4 emotions, and they also kind of are like the elements at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of supposed to be like, okay, leaf is for when you're feeling calm. Okay, let me think about how I'm feeling calm. Fire is when you're angry or you're stressed, just one of those really fiery emotions. The emotions that make your body feel different. When you're angry, you usually do get a little hot. So it affects your
Yeah.
emotion, obviously. So that was the first one I made, so I love that one. And then the cloud, again, it's kind of the same thing, like anxiousness and just trying to get back to that sense of calm. And the raindrop, kind of the same idea, just more calm, but just a piece different than
Yeah.
like the leaf and the cloud. So I do feel like I could add some more, but that's what I have in there for now.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think I want to make a video about it, but just kind of making like a little calm down corner, which of course this would be so helpful in like a teacher's classroom or in a therapy office or
Yeah.
just all kinds of places that are like children based or just at
Yeah.
home, like
Yeah.
homeschooling moms
Mhm.
that are trying to teach emotions. If you have a calm down
Mhm.
corner and having that hot air balloon in the corner with the stress balls in there, and then having that comfortability of talking through emotions with the child or just letting them talk through it if they need that moment by themselves, that's totally valid too. So yeah, just a moment of like, let's talk about emotions and teach it and make a safe space for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also really cute because hot air
Yeah.
balloons are so customizable.
Yep. Yeah. It's so cool. So cool. Um, do you have any other ideas up your sleeve that you feel like talking about?
I do. I've just been stuck on like, what do I do next? Um,
Yeah.
I have one that I'm thinking I should probably work on because it's almost fall, but it's a worry monster. And I really want the mouth to have like an open flap so you can put your worries in there. So that's the part that I've been stuck on because it's hard to find a way to have that open. But that's my next one, I think. And then I also really want to do a sitting desk bear that's called a bearapist. Like a
Oh,
therapist.
that's
Um,
awesome.
and I want his belly to have a little beehive and then pull out the bees that are also stress balls when you're feeling stressed. So that's been like in the back of my head for a long time too. And then maybe some granny squares that are all like different emotions. So you could do like an emotions pillow or
Yeah.
blanket or whatever. So that's kind of what I've been thinking for next, but I don't know what I will actually do next. But
Yeah.
that's behind the scenes in my brain. Yeah.
That's so cool. I think um, you've got really two really cool themes. One is help, like you said, helping people through emotions, and then with the finished product, like the Cope Cloud, the finished product helps you work through it. But then you've got the patterns and products that as you're making it will help you either document an important event and how it's making you feel or work through something. Um, and there's so much that, you know, you'll be able to do with that when inspiration strikes.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
hope so.
excited to keep watching these things come out. Yeah.
Me too. Hopefully, I can get
Yeah.
those out soon.
You will. You will. It's meaningful to you and
Yeah, it is.
it's both things you're passionate about. So it'll come to you when it's needed. Um, so when you learned crochet, you were in grad school.
Yeah.
How did that help you? How did it light up your brain?
Oh my gosh. I think anything creative was going to help me as a child therapist. I feel like even when I was at, at work, like during my internship, I was always doing a craft anyway. So it was really fun to just really pull that side out of me and just fully engage, and children don't judge, so it was really fun to just craft alongside them. A lot of like parallel play helps in therapy, so doing that. But then going home and having my own outlet and learning crochet and being able to show my sense of accomplishment in a project was really fun at the same time. And I do feel like I have certain crocheted items that are correlated with certain memories throughout my sessions or certain clients when I was working as a therapist. So that's really fun too, and just remembering them because I will never ever see them again. So it's like, oh, I remember that, and.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of my internship, I actually started incorporating crochet in some of my sessions. So that was like this whole new, oh my gosh, like I get to bring my hobby into work. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were you teaching kids
No,
crochet
so
or what did that look like?
I had two teenagers that knew how to crochet.
Mm.
And so when that came up, I thought, oh, that is going to be a great icebreaker, a great way to talk through things. So I talked to my supervisor about it. As if you don't know, you pretty much have like a supervisor you have to run through things with like, all the time as a therapist, all the time, which is really good.
Yeah.
But my supervisor also crocheted,
Uh,
so I thought, oh, this is perfect. I told her like, what if I could crochet with so and so in a session? She thought, oh, that's brilliant. As long as you're using the time to do a therapeutic modality and not just sit there and like, "Ugh, let's talk about stitches, you know."
Yeah.
So that was the reason why I couldn't just sit there and teach someone how to crochet. It was like, okay, you already
Yeah.
know how, so then we could just sit there, and it really helped, especially one of my clients who just really struggled to talk, which is such a valid thing during therapy. So she would sit there, and then as soon as we got our hooks up, it was like she would forget she was even talking. So it was just so good and such a fun like bonding moment too, because it's really important to have a relationship with your therapist, like, you know, where you feel that you can connect with them.
Yeah.
So that was really, really fun too. And then we ended up doing like a mood blanket. So it's kind of where my anxiety pattern idea came from. It was my sessions with her. We ended up doing like, you know, we had a chart on my wall of like all the emotions that she would feel, and then she would pick one up, and we would do one row per session.
Mm.
And she would be like, "Oh, this is the one I'm feeling today." So she'd grab that color, and then we'd do that together, and it was so fun. So that blanket held such a special place in my heart because I will never forget like where it came from, like that
Yeah.
client, that story, and just so much fun and peace and emotions that were worked through. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's super cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us more about this science behind how helpful crochet is to your brain. I think, granny hobbies, right? There's a big resurgence of them, specifically crochet and knitting, embroidery, sewing, um, pottery, all the things um, that have similar that have a similar thread of these repetitive motions. So much of our society today has such high anxiety and big things to work through and very little tools to work through them. And so we're all like taking a deep breath when we pick up these hobbies. Um, why is that?
Yeah, I think especially on that topic, especially now with AI becoming such a big thing and just technology is really, I don't want to say taking over, but like it's really become a predominant thing in the world right now, and even with children. It's really important to find a hobby or something that brings you kind of back down to earth and uses your hands and all the things, your creative skills, and just in a different way that technology does, because that does too, but just in a different way. But there's so many reasons why crocheting and crafting does help with your mental health. Like crafting in general reduces anxiety and depression. When someone feels anxious, you often tend to fidget or you're restless, and by using your hands in a craft, you actually do create that sense of calm within yourself. So that's why crafting helps. But then also something that I feel like is not talked about as much is just having a sense of belonging and just like, hey, I found this new hobby and I'm like kind of good at it. And then finding the community of people that also get that. That's a whole new thing too, especially with like moms postpartum. I know that's been a huge thing for me and other moms in the crochet world that I've talked to. But then also, like you mentioned, knitting and embroidering and crocheting, all those things. Anything that has a repetitive motion, like basically anything with needles, like I just mentioned, but also like coloring
Mm,
and like even biking, but that's completely different.
yeah.
Anything that's like bilateral, that releases serotonin. And
Mm,
serotonin is a chemical in your brain that affects like your memory and happiness and anger and sleep and regulation of your emotions. So when that's being released, it's actually helping reduce your depression. Well, that's something that I feel like people don't realize is, oh, it's not just like this fun thing that I can do on the side that makes me feel good about myself. Like it's also scientifically helping your brain process emotions and be happier. Like, not even kidding. Like, it literally takes away sadness because of serotonin. So,
yeah.
yeah. And then, I don't know if you know this, there's been a study pretty well. I think it was like 2011 of people that were experiencing memory loss and dementia, and they actually got them to knit and start knitting, and they like did this whole study, and it actually was decreasing their signs of memory loss by like 40%. I think it was done by the
Wow.
Mayo Clinic. Yeah, but I remember reading that when I was in grad school and thinking, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
and I think that's really cool because whenever I try to convince people to crochet or do some sort of hobby like so, I'm like, you actually are helping your early dementia. Like, like if you were to ever, get that, but I'm like, yeah, you're actually helping your brain, so it's for your health and your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said too for it seems like a lot of people when they either learn it fresh, um, this whatever this skill is,
Yeah.
um, when they learn it fresh like we did, or maybe it's been a long time they knew it when they were a kid and they picked it back up. Um, the the confidence that you get from kind of reminding yourself that you can learn something new
Yep.
and it's a very inward experience, internal
Yeah.
experience.
And it's good for
um
you.
it's so good, right? The confidence and just that whole process, right? If you're kind of like nervous,
Hmm.
like and doubtful, and it takes you a little while to build momentum to decide to try it, and then you try it, and so that like just that process alone I think is really powerful,
For sure.
and probably just like explodes the serotonin in your brain. And then and then honing your skill, and
Yeah.
I think that's super powerful too, to remind yourself, especially in harder moments, that like you are capable. I am capable of
Hmm.
so much. Even something as, you know, what seems as simple as learning a new skill like crochet or embroidery, or, even like becoming more proficient at coloring, buying some
Yeah.
professional markers versus your Crayola markers, learning some new techniques, like, you're kind of reinvigorating yourself.
For
And
sure.
what that does for your mental health is really important too.
Yeah, it creates a sense of belonging. It helps calm you down. It improves your motor skills, and it helps with tactile stimulation. Like there's just so many things. Like I
Yeah.
could go on and on. Like it's not just doing something, it's feeling something, it's working through something, and it's doing it at your own pace and not having like a deadline like it was in school, just like,
Yeah.
because I feel like some people are like, it just feels like a project, right? I'm like, no, this is your own timeline, and you get to be
Yeah.
creative, and you get to do what you like, and if you don't want to make so and so, then you don't have to.
Yeah.
Just do what you want to do and have fun with it and pour your soul out. It's just so fun. It's just so fun.
Yeah. You just made me think of something, is like, you can, wherever you're comfortable with, you can follow the pattern directly to a T if you're in the mood, or if you're somebody who likes, like, rules and boxes, and I'm going to stay in this, and if that's your
Yeah.
comfort zone, you can do that. um, if you're somebody like me who likes the rules but also likes to like go outside the rules at the same time, like I have my boundaries, and then I'm going to figure out like how to do it different. You can do that, or you can just do your own thing,
Mhm.
whatever suits you. And I think you learn a lot about yourself, I guess, is what I'm saying, and how it's applied to many different areas in your life, which is also super cool.
Super cool.
Yeah. And learn about other people too, right? Let's say, um, our kids, when they get older, and if they pick up something like this, we can like, by observing their choices that they're making, um, we can learn about them, too.
Yeah. Just using your creativity goes a long
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Even with like in the crochet world, a lot of people do modifications on patterns and just like there's this one girl who does a ton. I think her name's Allison and she's the Good Knot Studio on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah.
She does she follows patterns but then she does all these crazy like fun cool modifications and then all of a sudden I'm inspired and I think, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what could I do, you know? And it's just this circle of like community and power and just just a really cool space and just like, okay, there's room for everybody and you could still go at your own pace and learn about yourself through it too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very cool. And I really I think there's a lot to be said for the like rhythmic movement. It's predictable for your brain, right? So your brain, it's releasing serotonin, and you're getting that feeling, and you're, especially, let's take your not today anxiety blanket.
Yeah.
You know what comes next. You don't have to count, right?
Yeah.
And so you can engage enough to where you're distracted, maybe a little bit disassociated
Mm-hmm.
from whatever big feeling you're feeling. But in the background, your brain is able, it now has space, it now has room to, you know, lay out those feelings and work through them.
Yeah, eventually stitching becomes mindless once you've learned it, and that is huge. Like you realize that you don't have to pay attention and you're just doing your thing and you may not even realize that by the end of it you have processed your emotions or you just feel better at the end of the day, you know. I know now, like if I watch TV, I am crocheting. Like I'm not just sitting there, I'm crocheting and even sometimes like I love, you know, like crime shows and sometimes I think helping or crocheting is actually helping me like wait no like it's not you know it's not this guy it's this guy or whatever and
Yeah.
I seriously do think it even helps me with critical thinking during these crime shows. It was just so funny.
Yeah, I think it just allows your brain some space because it's involved in an activity that's physical and
Yeah.
like I said, it's predictable. So your brain knows what comes next. So it has the ability to kind of pick up on things and think about things a little bit differently. I know when I'm crocheting, this is a little bit of a tangent. When I'm crocheting, um, I'll be like I'll be working on one pattern. Like right now, I'm designing a blanket, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on it, but all of a sudden I'm thinking about my next pattern, and in my head I'm designing, coming up with these ideas for my next pattern while I'm still finishing, like in the
Yeah,
middle.
because your brain's
So
like done. Like, oh, I already know how to do this.
yeah,
What's next? You know? Yeah.
yeah, it's really
Yeah.
interesting, and I've always been more of a kinesthetic
Mm.
mixed with um, audio, auditory,
Yeah.
an auditory learner and a kinesthetic learner, and I need both to be able to process information.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have like my husband is he likes to go into detail with a lot of things. He's an engineer and
Yeah.
gets really technical and loves to dive deep into things. And in order for me to like pay attention and process what the heck he's saying, because I have no background or anything, I need to be physically doing something. Um, he's trying to like show me on the whiteboard, and I'm
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah.
like,
Hold
say
on,
that
let me get my
again.
hook.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and so lately, I've been mindlessly working on my blanket at night while he's, telling me about his day. And I'm able to recall information and connect dots, like you were saying with your crime shows. I'm able to connect dots that I never would have. And I'm like, sometimes like, where did I remember that from? Like, that's unusual. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So it could be a really cool tool for, like
Hmm.
more one-on-one classroom type.
Exactly.
Um, especially, or some subjects like history and psychology and more heavy on lecture type.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I wish
That
I
would be
could
really
have
cool.
crocheted like in college
Yeah,
when I had to sit through those lectures. Like I wish I was crocheting,
yeah,
and I'm sure that it's probably not allowed, but I think it should be. I
yeah.
think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, you know what I just remembered in high school, I brought coloring books. And I thought that I was doing it because I was so bored. I was so bored. I was so not engaged at all with school. Oh, yeah, school. Um, and in, what was it? History and economics and probably English or something. Just like the things that really I just could not focus on. I was like, I'm going to distract myself and I'm going to color. But that was probably
Wow.
not what I was actually doing.
Yeah,
I was able to listen more. That's
exactly.
cool. Little me knew better.
See, it's like you knew it was coming up, and
Hmm.
but now you get to tell your kids like find your hobby,
Yeah.
What's gonna help you sit through lectures and things that you're not that interested in, and or something that'll help you pay attention or whatever it may
Yeah.
be.
Well, I mean, I think I'm homeschooling my son. He's 5.5. We'll be starting some like proper kindergarten um,
Mm-hmm.
curriculum here pretty soon. And like when I was a teacher, I knew how important movement was in my classrooms, um, and I incorporated that a lot. Different seating arrangements, and I made a path room around my classroom. So if kids, if it was like a heavy day of sitting for whatever reason, they had a path that one at a time they could get up and do up to 5 laps as I was lecturing or whatever. And like I knew how important that was. And as a homeschooling mama, especially when, it's chunks of 20 minutes at a time, I can
Yeah.
already feel myself being like, let's just focus for 20 minutes at a time. Um, and I don't think I would be able to do that. I would need something. So this is me processing in real time,
Yeah.
um, to like help my son at a young age find something that helps him hear what I'm saying and process the information in a way that fits him and his brain and his body.
Yeah, finding something to reset, and
Hmm.
because it, like you said, 20-minute increments. Like, okay, let's reset and then go back to 20 minutes, and that's like easier to accomplish than we're gonna do 8 hours of
Yeah.
school today.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of similar to back to crocheting, but like one row, one round.
Yeah.
It's easy sense of accomplishment. Let me finish.
Yeah.
those
Let's talk
five
more
to
about
six.
that.
You know.
Um, it is really important for your brain to feel accomplished,
Yep.
right? And
Absolutely.
um, that is something that crochet, you set out these little micro goals.
Exactly. And then when
Um,
you've accomplished and finished it, it's feeling that proudness and, again, sense of accomplishment. And
mhm.
it's kind of like a little space of your identity, too, and just being able to show off like who you are is really fun.
Yeah.
You have all these different patterns, and you could have one pattern made by 5 different people, and it'll all look different because everyone's
Yeah.
different, and it's super cool.
Yeah. It is. It's super cool. It's part of the reason why I love testing patterns for other people, for other designers, because
Hmm.
you see a pattern and you're like, oh, this yarn that I have or that I've seen would make an awesome, dinosaur or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get into your group and you're all working on the same thing. And then you see what everybody else is doing and you're like, whoa, that one looks so cool. I would have never put together those combinations. And like, um, example, one of my least favorite colors. has always been like bright orange. I love burnt orange.
Mhm.
Orange has always been orange and yellow. Like, I don't know
Ugh,
why. They're
those
just
are my
not mine.
favorite.
I know, but since following you, a lot of what you make is these bright oranges and stuff. Part of the reason you and Core from Love Knots.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw this color on it on Amazon. I was like, oh, that reminds me of them. So I got this dress.
Oh, that's so
Um,
fun.
but it's like I'm being exposed more to the color palettes that you choose that would never be something that I would choose, and I love it. And it's inspiring me to like
Yes.
try different things, which is super cool. Um,
That reminds me of some of my testers for the hot air balloon. I think like three of them have done some shade of purple. And
yeah,
I keep telling them, like, you guys are making me start to love purple. I will never cheat on orange, like,
yeah,
but, like, so now I'm like, oh, I don't think I've ever made anything in purple. I should try that. And
yeah.
that's super fun. Just
You've
came out
got
of nowhere.
purple embroidery on your
Yeah,
behind you.
I mean, I did a couple, but, like, I've never done full
Yes.
purple. I've always stuck to, like, pinks and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just never done like neutrals and but yeah, it's just random like, "Oh, yeah, we have purple." I'm like, oh, I should do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I going back to sense of accomplishment. So you have it, you're setting these micro goals, one more row.
yeah,
Um, and it becomes quite addictive, right? You're like, the joke is all of a sudden it's 1 a.m. because you just keep saying, oh, one more row, oh,
yeah.
one more row, oh, one more row. Like, what is that?
You know what? I actually remember reading this a long time ago, but not that it's like the same exact thing, but doing a hobby actually helps people that do have addictions, like smoking or gambling, whatever it may be, because now their brain is like so stuck with having to do something over and over again that they can't get their minds through. Not that like crocheting is addicting in the same way that one of those serious ones are, but
Yeah.
it just got me thinking. Like I remember reading that and going, that is such a good point. Like having something to fidget with, and then yeah. But anyway, back to really like the sense of accomplishment and how addicting it is. I mean, I think especially in this community when we're completing something and then able to show it and we all get love and praise and oh that's so fun and now I want to do it and oh my gosh you're so creative and of course it's going to make you want to keep going and it
Yeah.
should and and if you're not getting praise you probably just feel proud of yourself and that's super fun. And I know,
Mm-hmm.
like for me as a mom, when I accidentally, stay up too late crocheting and such, I think, oh man, but like then I have to wake up and I have to be responsible again.
Yeah.
And then I don't get to crochet till my daughter goes to bed again, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so I think that's where that comes from. Of just like I am addicted to this project and it's so fun and it's like you don't want it to end but then you want to
Yeah.
see what it looks like at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of moms would agree. Like, no, because then you have to wake up and be in mom mode again or whatever,
Yeah.
which is also wonderful. But
Yeah.
it's nice to have your own little passion and thing to
Yeah.
do at the same time. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I do want to touch on addiction help about it because um, when oftentimes when I snack way more than intended and that I actually want, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, especially sugar things like candy just lights up my brain and my body is like, yeah, keep going. A lot of people feel
Yeah.
that way with alcohol. I don't. It's sugar for me.
Hmm.
And so it makes me think like, um, in the crochet Instagram world, what's really popular, what everybody's sending each other is nerd cluster
Yes,
candies.
which I love.
I love, I love. And I realize when I'm eating them without crochet, like it's no problem to down a bag. Like
Yes.
just mindless, like, oh yeah. But when I'm crocheting, I'm just having like a little bowl, maybe a handful.
Hmm.
Um, because like, and it's not even that my hands are busy. It's my brain's just not even thinking about it, which is so powerful because the sugar drive is so powerful and like all consuming to when I'm sitting there crocheting to like not even think about it.
That
That's pretty
actually
cool.
is such a good point because I do the same thing
Yeah.
where like we'll put my daughter down for bed and like especially on Fridays we like to have dessert, after dinner and everything, my husband and I. And we'll be sitting there and we're watching our show and I'm crocheting and whatever. And like an hour will go by and he's like, "You haven't even touched your ice cream or whatever it is." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot," and this is not speaking on any like eating disorder or addiction, anything like that, but just like totally just losing yourself in a project.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, I just need to make sure we're not. I'm like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
don't take that information. But just like the fact that you get lost in a project that you love, it's probably really helpful for someone that's trying to like not eat as many nerds clusters or whatever
Yeah.
it is. So that's such a good point. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
go tell
very
my
cool.
husband now, like, yeah, I was talking about that because other crocheters relate and forget that they have their snack there or whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happens to me all the time when I'm doing it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love nerds clusters. I do.
I know.
And now they remind me of crocheters, so it's
I
super
know.
good. Yeah.
I didn't even know they existed. When I was little, I loved the Nerds rope.
Mhm.
Specifically, I get super, super car sick. And I always have. And when the Nerds ropes came out, my mom bought them one time on a road trip, found them at a gas station. And that has been like my go-to. I don't know what it is about the Nerds rope specifically. It was really nothing else, but it was the Nerds rope would stave off um, my car sickness and her car sickness. She gets super car sick too. Like, so, but then they went away for a little while. I couldn't find them. And then, I
Mm.
joined this crochet community and I see these nerd clusters. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is
Nice.
this?
That is hilarious. That is okay, so funny because I did recently make a YouTube video that was like me creating this anxiety coping kit. And I
Yeah.
talk about how sour candy helps like anxiety, and that just like you said, like you got car sick and then you had a nerds rope and it helped, and like that's literally why, like it's just this full circle that has got me
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. But I'm wondering if like when crocheters have nerds clusters and they're crocheting, if it's helping them even more just because it's a little sour.
Yeah.
So that just got me thinking,
Oh
oh,
my gosh, we have to test it.
wait, I wonder. Let's do a study. And five crocheters who felt less anxious by the
Right?
time they finished their row with Nerds Cluster.
I volunteer. I'll be
Yeah,
in it.
I volunteer
With your
too.
blanket, I'll be in it.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm kind of, I think you might need to do that.
Yeah, well now I really want to make that a whole thing. That's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's really
I
funny.
love nerds. But I feel like the clusters are newer, right? Like,
Yeah.
and by new I mean probably like 8 years or
Oh,
something like that.
yeah,
But
probably. Yeah,
um,
who knows?
but I don't feel like they existed like when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. It's probably just the last couple of years.
Hmm.
We can probably track down the person who made
He,
it a popular thing
yeah.
in the crochet
You,
community. I
whoever.
know, it makes me think about crochet now, and it's
Exactly.
hilarious. Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. So you've got all of these patterns. If somebody is interested in purchasing a pattern or checking them out, where can they find the
They're
patterns?
in my Etsy shop. My business is called Cozy Crawley Corner. But yeah, it's in my Etsy shop, and that's where you can find them. Yeah. And then, of
Yeah.
course, the Instagram is, if you ever have questions, you can also message me or email me there. It's all the same, like Cozy Crawley Corner, Etsy, Instagram, email, everything. So that's what people
And
do.
you also have your YouTube where
I
you're
do the YouTube.
vlogging.
I keep
Yep,
forgetting about that because it's brand new. So
it is brand new. We've got a
that
couple
too.
videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, I've been doing markets, and so that's kind of what my YouTube's gonna be, is just market stuff, but super
Yeah.
fun too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just had a thought. If somebody is not a crocheter, um, they can still purchase your pattern to give as a gift to a crocheter.
Yeah, yes.
To like make for them or
Mhm.
um, if
Exactly, yeah.
you
If you
yeah.
wanted to, custom order for me or someone else that crochets, and they can have the pattern and then make you a cloud or a rainbow with a little anxiety coping
Yeah.
printout in
Or
there. Yeah.
even, if somebody that you know is going through a difficult time or a special time in their life that they might want to document and they crochet,
Yeah.
buy them the Not
Yes.
Today Anxiety blanket
Such a good
pattern.
idea.
So it's a good giftable pattern
I
as
didn't even
well.
think about that. Look at you.
I
That's so
just thought of
cool.
it. I'll be on your marketing team. It's all good.
Thank you. I love that.
I think people don't think about that, if you purchase, you can gift it to somebody too.
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah. Although if you are a crocheter, I'm going to say this. I'm going to caveat this. If you are a crocheter and you're buying the pattern to give to somebody else, buy 2 copies because you're buying one for yourself and you're going to be gifting it.
Yes,
You want
super
to
important.
make sure that designer, you're not, you're, yeah, make sure they're getting their money where they
Yeah.
need it. What, buddy? I'm all, yeah, almost. Um, let's see. So people can find you on your Instagram, on your YouTube, and on Etsy at Cozy Crawley Corner.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And you're putting a lot of information out there specifically on your Instagram about how to use these products
Yeah.
and all that, which is awesome. So highly recommend. Go subscribe, go follow, go
Thank you.
buy.
Yeah.
And Nicole, I loved learning from you today, and thank you so much for joining.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was so much fun.
Thanks for listening to The Young Granny Show. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share with your fellow old souls. Until next time, keep embracing your inner granny.